eyes on the ground and check it out. It's an oyster. Yeah, it's a baby oyster. You know, mother of pearl inside a pearl oyster. Let's talk about pearls for a second. We have this little belief system out there that every one of these babies holds a pearl. Not true. Actually was the exception. So how do pearls happen? Well, very simply put, this little oyster is sitting happily on the ocean floor, yapping away, and all of a sudden a grain of sand or some irritant slips into it, and it cannot spit it out. At that moment, it's irritating, right? So what does the little clam do? The oyster, it surrounds the piece of sand or whatever irritant with mother of pearl, creating the famous pearl. Does this happen to every oyster? Of course not. Statistically speaking, it happens to 1 in every hundreds or whatever, a pretty small number. And this also means that to get a pearl necklace, people had to fish hundreds and thousands of these out to get the right sized pearls to make one single necklace. This was the mainstay industry, as a matter of fact, of the Gulf, the Arabian Gulf, before they found oil. Now along comes a guy called Mikimoto. This gentleman, Mr. Mikimoto-san from Japan. And he put in an enormous amount of time and effort wondering, how could I produce predictably beautifully round pearls? Because pearls are not naturally round, that's only the exception. So he started putting in all kinds of irritants into his little test oysters, until he found, after many trial and errors, that a specific American freshwater clam, if he drilled out little balls from the shell of that and put it in here, would make the perfect irritant to create perfectly round pearls. The epilogue to the pearl story is quite interesting. With Mikimoto's invention, chasing after wild oysters became not economical. Good news for the oysters out there, they're being left alone. And in those farms where we now get these perfectly round oysters, these oysters are being treated with great care. They get gently seeded, put in the water, produce the pearl, they go back in the water to produce more pearls, and thus live quite happily for many, many years. Quick quiz question: which is the biggest pearl ever found? And here's a hint: it was not found in a pearl oyster. First guy to get it right, put it in the comments below fast, because you get the Firewalker t-shirt. Let's get going, guys, and let's have some fun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.